Let's get into it. Look, moving different, you know I'm already custom made. Said you wanna play with me, there's just a different game. Trying to make it to the end, it's just a crazy maze. Here for the long, you know I'm about to make a play. I'm coming stronger, getting bigger, just a different day. 2020, tunnel vision, know I'm here to stay. Told my mama I had to leave, she prayed for better days. When I came back home, was loving all the praise. Keep the real ones around, not only fuck with apes. Now we banging on the chest just like a bathing ape. Now we getting all this money, never go astray. Just know I'm grinding to the top until I get the fame. It's more than the fame, I want the respect. I wanna show the world I can give it my best. Okay, post-traumatic stress just be keeping me pressed. Almost all my brothers died, now I'm paying the debt. It's like that.
Welcome back, everybody, to Brothers in the Deep End, Season 3. Just want to let you guys know, this season just keeps getting on crazier and crazier with the episodes. And we're really happy to bring you guys some new content, some crazy stories, new experience, and some good advice for everyone who's watching. You know, just like we always say every podcast episode, if we can change one person's life, that's all that matters, and that's why we're here today.
Real shit.
Keep subscribing. Keep commenting, keep liking, keep showing all the support, keep sending us all the DMs. We appreciate all you guys, and without the support, we wouldn't be here today. So for today's episode, before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know it's going to be a crazy episode. I say this every episode, but this is going to be a crazy episode, and I think we're going to have some really, really good traction today because we have some really crazy people. We have a nice person here today who's going to really, really spread some love, show us some great advice on how he got out and how the deep end, really, and how he's going to do big things for not just himself and his community, but he's going to do things for the youth that's coming up. So today, I just want to let you know we have a reoccurring guest today. We have the grand old man himself.
Hey, I'm back, man. I'm excited to be back.
Nice.
I miss you guys.
And we also have today, we have an NFL player who also plays for the Bucs, and he goes by the name of Chris Coop.
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Nice. And I just want to let you guys know his story is extremely inspirational. And the reason why he's on the podcast today is because he has this vision, right? And this vision is to help the youth and get them out, teach them, educate them, and make sure that they're learning. So when we're all gone one day, they can take our place and hopefully, you know, teach their youth and teach everyone else and continue this great bloodline of just amazing success and getting everyone out the hood, getting everyone out their neighborhood, doing bigger and better things. And obviously that's why we're here today on Brothers in the Deep End. So, you know, little intro, clap it up for him. You know, he came in today, and I'm really glad you're here today, man. You know, just starting off, as we're going to get a little bit to know you. I want the viewers to know a little bit about you as well. So you go by the name of Chris Coop. You play for the NFL. And I think that's extremely humbling to have you here with us today. And I really appreciate you coming in, taking the time to, you know, express how you feel on some advice that you're about to give us today. So starting off, right, just how was your, like, growing up? So starting off, we'll start from the beginning, chronological order, like we always do. How was your life growing up, and how did you even, like, start? Like, how was your family life? Middle school, elementary school, going up to high school?
Sure. So let's go back. Shit, we could start with elementary school. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was one of those bad kids, elementary school, middle school. You know what I'm saying? Just getting into everything. Not necessarily like always lost stuff, but just getting into stuff. Just little bad kid stuff, I guess you could say.
Yeah, regular.
Beating up kids at the park.
But then sports came around, so that's like middle school, high school. Sports came around. I met a coach named Coach Semino. Pretty much gave me an opportunity to play basketball, which changed a lot of things for me moving forward in my future. But as far as like backtrack, I started playing football when I was in like middle school, elementary
Interesting.
school.
So you pretty much played both during that time. So like when did football come along the line since you first started off with basketball?
So the first sport I actually played was baseball though. Like, so I played baseball all the way up until like.
Oh my God! It's like this guy triathlete over here.
I'm not even gonna hold you. That's like the first sport though. That's like the first sport. So started with that, and I did that, and I played basketball and I played football. I actually quit football when I was in like Pop Warner. It was just I was one of the chubby kids. Didn't get a lot of plays. I was getting 6 plays and I was out of there. I was getting no love. So I actually quit that and just started playing basketball. Like I said, when we kicked back up to like middle school and stuff, like that's when I started taking basketball real serious, baseball real serious. And then for some reason, like going into 9th grade, I didn't want to play baseball no more. I feel like it just wasn't
your calling.
Yeah. it wasn't exciting. I needed more excitement. It was too dead.
So did you stay with basketball in high school?
Yeah.
Nice.
Basketball.
And did you adapt to football as well in high school, or did you stay with basketball until like you were done?
So the timeline, I guess you could say, for football was like I started playing again in 8th grade. So I took like a good 5-6 years off, I guess you could say. From I guess when I was younger, probably even a little more than that. And then my cousin came to school, and then a guy named Dallas James came to school. He was putting together a little Pop Warner team. Well, like you could call it modified. We called it modified. So some kids that play 8th grade. I was just like, all right. Like I said, I used to play football. He said, all right, well, come to the field. I said, all right. Teaching me how to play running back, like legit teaching me how to do stuff. Cause last time I played, I was on the line. Like I was just I was like chubby dude
right there, the pass block.
Yo, he
right
got
there,
the,
run
he
block.
got the 6 minimum plays you're supposed to give.
And then moving forward, so you were in high school, right? You played. When was this big pivot, right? So obviously we introduced you, Chris Coop, NFL player. When was this big pivot in your career where you wanted to take football a lot more serious, and when did that change for you? Because it sounded like you played basketball for a while.
Yeah, I played basketball. I played basketball up until like 11th grade. But when I know football was my calling is when, like I said, I went to Mount Vernon High School my freshman year, and I was doing. A lot of people don't know that I was playing both. I was playing the modified team, 8th grade team, and then like I was doing high school stuff too. I guess like how the birthday works. I don't know how that stuff worked, but I was able to play both. So I would play on the modified team on Saturdays, and I'll play the high school games on Saturdays, and I'll play the modified games on Sundays.
So did you believe also, like at the time, playing like football and basketball, like did it have or create any conflict like with each sport, or did you believe like playing one sport actually helped you in the other sport?
I think basketball really helped me with football because it helped me trim down, get more athletic. Like basketball teach you a lot of stuff that just football just don't.
Interesting.
Like you just move different in basketball.
So, and then moving forward, so you went to college, I'm assuming, obviously, right? So we spoke, you went to college. Where'd you go to college? Just for the people, obviously, who don't know, like, where'd you go to college to?
My first college was ASA College. I'm actually right down the street.
Oh, shit, right here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, shit, what the fuck? I know my boy Juan played there, too. Juco out there.
Yeah, so I went there first, and then I transferred to Stony Brook after a year and a half.
And so you played football at both colleges?
Yeah.
Crazy. All right. So moving forward, right? So now like we're going to keep pushing through this story a little bit. But as you progress forward, how did you get into the NFL? So when was this big pivot? You played for, right? You played in college all the way through. When did you see this transition? And for anyone who doesn't know out there, what is that process of even getting signed to the NFL? And how was like this approach to you? What was this journey of getting into the NFL? And how did you make it to that point?
It all started it just starts in college. You know what I'm saying? Well, it starts with yourself, number one. You gotta just know you gotta be able to you can play at that level. So you could play at that level, you could play like you have a lot of confidence in yourself. So one, it starts with yourself, and then two, it's just like how you would just approach every day from high school to college, like just how you just approach the game, how do you approach coming to work. So once people get that, like they understand like, all right, this is what it takes. And some people really don't know. I didn't know. I thought I was doing the right thing, and apparently I was. You know what I'm saying? I had people that got me around the way, yo, take care of your body. Do this, look at extra film. And I was like, okay. And I did it. So and I just stuck with it, and then it was like a little routine that I had put together just by just doing it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, I gotta do this in the morning. I gotta get up extra early. Hit the cold tub. I get my treatment before practice, and then I gotta hit class like after practice.
So I was gonna say, as an athlete, I know I hear this a lot also from Ethan. So I know every podcast episode we have, Ethan relates a lot to football because he obviously played at one point. Do you believe that there was any challenge during college with football, and was there any conflict like between like personal life, like timing, time management? Because obviously you seem like you're pretty like well put together in general. So like, but was there any point where you felt like, okay, like this is really hard for me? So in college, I guess my question to you is, in college, while you were playing football and you were taking it extremely serious now, was there a point where you felt like there was a challenge and conflict in your life that made it very hard for you to continue playing?
I wouldn't say a conflict. It's more like growing pains. Like this is the first time you're going through stuff. It's all about how you're gonna take it. So growing pains, and you lean on the people that's around you. So if you in school, you lean on your guidance counselors. they have study hall, but that time management is really serious because next thing you know, you got papers due, but you learn so much about football and practice, looking at film, like, oh, I gotta do a paper. So like I said, it come with growing pains. Like you just gotta know what your schedule is. Once you know your schedule, know what you can do with football and just move on from there.
And before you go further, Casey, you just gotta know how to also adapt, right, too. Because that goes with everyday life. I feel like, right, we start, like in school, we start kindergarten, first grade, and as we know, it gradually gets harder. It's that progressive overload. Just like with fitness, right? You got to manage this and that. It's just that progressive overload. Everything gets more difficult. And that time management gets more difficult. Like with real life now, too. I could imagine for Coop, you're a pro player. You know, you got family, what the case may be. Me, I'm a young individual, but I got a lot of things going on. I got to balance, you know, my family life, you know, doing this, doing that. I'm trying to do a lot. And it's just like that juggle is very hard to find. But then once you find it, you got to stick to it. And that's discipline. And you got to do it over and over and over again. And just like Coop said, if you keep on doing it over and over and you stick to that right routine, you will become a pro in the field that you're in, which he is a product of, you know? So go ahead, Casey.
So college, can finish college, did your thing. When did you get your first offer? So like for someone who doesn't know, like I'm not as like, I guess like intelligent in like sports as much as like Ethan would be. Like, so for him, it'd be a little bit more biased because he understands how this works. So like for someone like me, break it down, or even for someone who's watching, like the advice that you can give someone and what was like that process. So when was that first offer that was like offered to like to play professional in this sport? Like, how did you know like you were going to play it? Like when was that first moment that you were like, oh shit, I got my fucking like first contract?
Or when did you like know like, oh shit, like, yo, bro, you know what? I'm about to fucking go to the NFL, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's like
when was that first moment?
First moment, I could say it really hit home when agents started calling. Like I said, you always got to know you can make it to the league when you're doing, like, you got to know you can make it in anything you're doing. So, but when the agent started calling, that's when I was like, all right, it's getting real.
And you just start getting random like phone calls from agents like, hello, my name is John so-and-so from this agency, and you know, cool, man, you're an amazing player, I want to represent you. It was like calls like that?
Yeah.
And
a few different people.
And
I only had like 5.
Oh, 5 of them? And it was just like organically they called you? Like you didn't put your name out for that? Like they just called you?
I mean, well, what you put on tape is your audition, so that's all I had to do, and that's what I did. Like I put stuff on tape. And
did you send your tape out, or like?
No,
it was just there, and then people, wow.
In college, they come like NFL scouts go to college, like they see what players are like top in the area or what's making noise. Like they go look. That's why like I always say like football, like it don't matter where you go. Like if you nice, they gonna find you because they always going around the schools to see who's
I want to stop you because that's a key point. I think that's with anything. If you're good, they'll find you. Content, right? Just like us. It could be one person out there. I told Casey, that's why we got to take every pod serious or everything that we do serious because there's little things that matter. And just like this message is very important because it could touch home for one person, and like we said, if we could change one life, then we're doing our job. So that's very crucial. Like you never know who's watching. You know that quote. Everyone knows that quote. Character is what you do when no one's watching. Someone's always watching you. Like you could be doing your job well. Like me, I work, regular corporate job, but I never knew who was coming in the building, so I gotta make sure I'm doing my job right. Because I could come across this billionaire, and he's like, yo, E, I like the things that you're doing. Come over here. Like, I want to offer you this. Come over here, after the job.
All it takes is one person.
But that's what happens. I know a few people that it happened to, and now they're working for big-time companies, and people is like, holy shit, what the fuck? Yeah. So that's why the little things count. And like who said, how you carry yourself every day in those routines is very fucking crucial. So, yeah, man, kudos to you for that.
No, yeah. So you had agents calling you big time. So how did you feel at that exact moment, and like what made you make that choice to like pivot towards that like career and like that life? Did you always want to play like in the NFL? Is that something like you always wanted to dream of? And then like when you got these calls, is that something that was extremely like important to you? Like, did you freak out? I feel like if that was me, I would have freaked out. But that's just because of me. Like, I'm just how I am as a person. But like, how was your reaction to getting these calls, and how did it make you feel?
It was I guess it was shocking. I didn't really know how to take it. And it's just like growing up, like I was always humble. Like like people like you could be going to the league. I was never like, yeah, I'm out, I'm on to the I was just like,
of course.
If it happened, it happened, it happened. Like that's how I was.
And I think you're still like that, man.
No, yeah,
you're very humble dude.
Yeah, you are.
So like it was like if it happened, it happened. So but I always had my friends, and my friends would be like, nah, cool, whatever you talking about, you going to the league. So it was like they always instill friends family, they always instilled that confidence in me, like always told me, like, man, you going to the league. So it was like, all right, cool. And then when the agents called, it was like, right, this is my first time. I don't know. Like, all right, cool. It was nice talking to you. Damn, I forgot buddy's name.
Because you was so like,
I'm zoned out.
Yeah.
He's talking about,
oh,
and I'm
shit.
like,
It's a lot.
I forgot buddy's name. But it was like now, after that one call, I gotta start taking these dudes' names down, saving their numbers and stuff like that. So I was just, and then, like I said, I always talk to people. I always ask questions. If I don't know something, I'm gonna ask a question. So.
And then you kind of just like picked, I guess, like the best offer that you thought was like best for you.
I hit one of the older dudes that I guess who I hit up Ochi. I was just like, man, like how'd you handle that agent situation? And then he told me a little bit, and then at the end of the day, when you picking an agent, it gotta be genuine. Like they gotta be willing to do everything for you. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're representing you.
If they just trying to sign you and then they got like 30 other clients, you don't want to go with nobody like that. Like you want to
because you want to be focused on. Yeah.
Like it happens because don't get me wrong. For me, it was just more of who gonna be more genuine, who gonna keep me in the job. You know what I'm saying? Who gonna treat me like, you know what I'm saying? If this their kid doing it, are they gonna put in the same effort if that was if that was me? So that's how I looked at it. But for the other dudes that go first round, you know, they get all that. Like the dudes that draft, like they get the big name agents, and so it's gonna happen. So it's just like they're not gonna go with a smaller agent.
Yeah, of course.
More times than not, they're not.
Yeah, and that goes also for like, I could say like me with like fitness too. Like when I was first testing out coaches and what the case may be, like I'm like, all right, who's generally like gonna care for me? Because if you got like 50 clients, bro, like I could just be like a regular degular to you, you know what I'm saying? And I really preach me, like my clients or with my people when I train, it's like I take quality over quantity. Like I'd rather have like 5 people that really want to train, and then I'm gonna really like go into it with you and like mentor you, you know, because I say I'm more than just like a trainer. Like I'm a coach. Like I'm gonna guide you with life and what the case may be. So also when it comes down to like fitness or whatever it is that you're doing, like Coop said, you want to make sure that it's organic, genuine, and that they're truly there for you. I think as a person, because at the end of the day, that's a crucial part of your life. Like that's time again, and like I said last episode, time is very important because we can't get that back. So you don't want to waste time. And the people you spend around too, like you don't want to be. I don't want to waste time with Casey. He's not really for me. Because again, that's wasted time. So I completely understand you on that part, for real, for real.
And I can even relate to you like on a personal level with like even having like an agent. Like I currently don't have one at the moment, but in terms of like me being in like the music industry, right? Like I'm an independent artist. I kind of had to like, it sounds kind of weird, but I had to get scammed like 1,000 times to actually find like the people that I could actually like be cool with. You know what I'm saying? Like being an independent artist, like it meant a lot to me at the time, like getting verified, getting all these big publications, doing all these big things until I found like these 2 or 3 people with this team that I knew I can actually rely on. And you know what I'm saying? Like they're there for me. They've come to my music videos. They've come support me. They still hit me up because I'm in a group chat with them. Shout out Jerry and Austin. Y'all know who you are. But like they always help me out. They always come through and they're always real with me. They talk to me like I'm their boy. You know what I'm saying? Or not like a client because they're like, all right, this is what I think is best for you. Like, we're not going to do this because, like, you're not going to get the best results. And it's not even, like, for a money grab. You know what I'm saying? They look out for me and what they believe is best for me as an artist. You know, obviously being independent, I get to make my own choices. I can always say no to it. It's not like I'm, like, kind of yanked to do it. So I agree with you that I think, like, having someone who's going to care for you, especially in an industry like yours or even mine or anybody's who's, like, willing to take it to, like, that level, you have to ride with someone who's really going to be there with you to the end and looking out for your best interests.
Facts. Hold on, Casey. Shout out, Trey. Changed my life. DB movement.
Shout out Trey.
All the
movement.
All the athletes out there, you know, you a defensive back, Trey gonna get you right. If you're in New York City, that's the guy to go to.
He's
sorry.
my trainer.
No
trainer.
No disrespect.
trainer.
No disrespect to any other DB coach out there, but Trey is the best one in New York City. He changed my life not only as a like person, but as also like as an athlete. He made me a student of the game, and also now I'm a student of like life. Whatever it is I'm doing, like I'm studying, whatever the case may be, and I'm applying it. The way he does his stuff, man, you gotta go to him. DB movement. I'm representing the shirt right now.
Gonna get those hips right.
Yes, for real. Especially for the beds.
Pause.
Especially for the beds.
Hey, yo.
But this shirt, limited edition. That's why I got this shirt.
Hey, yo, stuff. He really be getting the hips right, bro. Well, I have a session with Trey.
You know, I
and see if
appreciate
your hips
that.
won't be on fire.
Exactly.
I appreciate
He trains
y'all, man.
cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's my trainer.
Ooh.
I'm his trainer.
So
Go ahead,
moving
Casey.
forward in this story, so I'm just trying to like break down the process for even me because like I don't know how this works, right? So moving forward, you got the calls, you made your choice, you got the advice that you needed. Now, how did your family feel at the time? Did you tell them, like, what was their reaction when
It's
you
just
told
totally new to them. It's just nothing but excitement. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
They more excited than me. I'm trying to figure stuff out.
them? Yeah. And I think, like, to your point, I think that's actually something that's extremely valuable, even for anyone who's watching. Like, you know, you're in right now, and people automatically probably assume, like, yo, you made it, you know what you're doing. But, like, I think with everything you do, it's a learning curve. And I think as you go along in any career, any like journey that you're on, you're gonna learn everything that you want, and you're gonna take these tools, take it, put it in your toolbox, and then whenever you don't want, you're just gonna spit it out. And then obviously, the more mentors you have, you take what you want, use it to your advantage, and just throw all the shit you don't. And I think that's something really important for anyone who's like even watching right now. Like what he said, anything you're doing in life, you have to like. Ethan tells me this all the time, but you have to listen to what other people are willing to tell you because you never know when you're going to learn.
Even from your enemy.
Everyone is a student, no matter what, because you can always learn something and it'll help take you to that next level. So moving forward, you got the whole thing. You told your family, you got the contract. How was that process now? Like what was your first step? Like the first thing you did, like in the NFL? Like, was there like a process you had to go through to prove yourself to be part of this team? How did that work out for you?
Man, rookie minicamp.
So tell us a little bit about that. What is that?
Tough.
Like, and what was the team that you went to rookie minicamp for?
The Colts.
Okay, so explain like that, you know, that journey per se.
It's tough because it's long days. Like, you really in there from like 7 in the morning to sometimes 7, 8 at night. Like, meetings, practice. See the veterans going home at 2 o'clock. Like, what?
Damn.
But good thing it only happens your rookie year, though.
Okay.
So you straight.
But I think that's just like how it is also in like, I'm trying to relate it too to like regular people, like in regular work too. Like when you first get in it, they're throwing you these crazy hours and then you got to build that seniority, whatever the case may be. And it's just like, then they treat you, you know, you get that favor. Like you don't got to work the weekends no more. You can leave at a certain time. Like you have more pull. But I think with the NFL, like you're putting your body through physical pain and just the physical impact, the mental is pure. Yo, you're drained by the end of the day. Then I say all the time, you gotta call your fam, call your mom, baby. How did your day go? And you just don't want to. You don't want to really talk about it that brief. You know, you don't want to. You want to get your rest. Yeah, man. Go ahead.
No, so that's pretty crazy. So moving forward, again, I'm gonna say this a lot, but like moving forward to the next step in this process, you did your camp, did through everything. What was it like after the fact? And what did you do after in this process?
Well, after campus, after like preseason and stuff, I didn't even make the team. I got cut. Well, I was on IR. I had got a concussion for in the last preseason game, so I was on IR for like 5 weeks.
And so having a concussion, how'd that feel? Do you feel like that like set you back a lot as well?
I mean, it was just when you get injured, it's always a setback. You just how you bounce back. That's just how it is, like how you bounce back. So what I did was like after my little protocols and stuff was over, I went home and I just went to the grind. Spoke to my agent. He told me, look, like just stay in shape, get ready. Teams is gonna call, so don't worry. I was like, all right. I believed in my agent, so that's what I did. I just went to work every day, grind to the gym.
How long? How long was the process until you got re-signed?
It was like a month.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like
was there a time where he's like, damn, like you got cut, right? And it's just like first time that happened, you know? And it's just like, all right, damn it. Like, even though your agent's telling you that, like, you know, the mind plays tricks. Was there something telling you, like, damn, you may not go back to it. Like, yo, you done for, man. It's over. It's a wrap.
I didn't feel like that. It was just, man, I just don't know. Like I said, the first time, especially rookie year, this is not how rookie year supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? I'm home.
And did you have, like, a backup plan just in case the league didn't work out? And do you still have, like, other plans aside, you know, when NFL is over?
I mean, my backup plan different from my backup plan when I was in high school. My high school, my backup plan was if I don't make the league, I was gonna be a fireman straight up.
Yeah,
took the test and everything, passed it. So,
okay,
that's like polar opposite too. That's crazy.
I can't be doing no board stuff. I mean, like fire. At least in Mount Vernon, fireman, like they have work, but for the most part, you chilling. At least you still work out, eat good, be with the fellas. Scary part is going in the fire. I mean. Well, my brother Monty do it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the way I look at it too is like even like if you're playing on that field, like you can say you're kind of going in the fire because you never know
every play. I tell Trey all the time. We talk about
your last play
because Trey, like I'm gonna tell you something. Trey be scared sometimes to do certain shit, and I be telling him, I was like, yo, bro. I'm like, yo, bro, you played D1 football, right? I said, bro, you started just about since your freshman year. I said, even in high school, I said, bro. Every fucking play, you was risking your life, bro. I was like, what the fuck you got to lose now? With certain things he calls me upon, I'm like, what you got to lose now? It's like, bro, just fucking go for it. And you excelled in that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? This other shit that we got going on, it's easy, bro. Like, we did the hard part. It's easy. We as athletes forever got an edge. Like, it's easy now. This is the fun part, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, talk about when you got signed, right? Now it's like, what did you learn from that rookie minicamp that you could bring on to after you got signed to this new team? And which was the second team that you got signed to?
Well, what I learned from it was you can't take this business personal at all. Because once you take it personal, that's when you pretty much seeing yourself out the door. So I learned not to take it personal. I learned it's just a business. And just keep my head down and grind. That's all I've been doing since I was in middle school and high school, is just grinding every day. Like, my bro 10B Visuals could tell you, like, you know what I'm saying? I've just been grinding all the time. So that's what I did. I just kept my head down, had faith in
the Almighty.
Grind. Don't get me wrong. Like you said, the mind do play tricks. So does that self-doubt, or does that like, man, am I going to get another shot? Yeah, hell yeah, come. But you got to have confidence in yourself to know, like, I'm going to get another shot.
Yeah.
Right. And I could relate with you 100%. I was reading the 4 agreements, and one of the agreements, it says, don't take nothing personal. Too personal, too. I was a big victim of that. Growing up, I took a lot of things personal, man. Even sometimes me and Trey, remember that time? Like, me and Trey had a little argument, but, you know, it's because I was taking things personal, which I shouldn't have. I'm thinking, maybe Trey could attest to this in Casey. I feel like I grew a lot as an individual over the past couple of years, especially the way I approached him, my attitude.
Especially in height.
Yeah. Sometimes, but sometimes I still go left field, you know, sometimes, and I catch myself, but it's like, the one thing I'm constantly working on is not to take nothing too personal, whether it's personal, like personal life, or just business, because I think that's when you could kind of get yourself out your character, man. And you just got, like you say, you just got to flow with life, and then also what you said, just be confident, and regardless of what the fuck happens, you're gonna be all right. Like me, like regardless of how many L's I take, like I took a lot of L's. I'm still taking big L's to this day.
Everybody take L's, bro.
Yeah, but bro, like with me, my belief system, my faith is like off the roof. Like, no one's gonna tell me shit like, bro, I didn't make it to the NFL. Like, yeah, I wanted to do that. I didn't make it to the NFL, but I'm gonna be a pro somehow, some way. I'm ready in the process of becoming that, whether it's in the financial world, this, that. I'm gonna strive to be that. I'm gonna strive to be the best, and it's gonna work out for me at the end of the day. Like, I'm gonna be all right. Just the way I carry myself. Like, oh yeah, you wanna fuck me? Oh yeah, I'm gonna bounce right back. Like, he's gonna work out in my favor, man. That's just how the fuck it is for me. You know, it was already written by God. And like my dad was telling me, like, you're blessed and you're ordained. And I think it's special to have like someone next to you being that voice in your ear. And I'm just so blessed to have, like, you know, Casey by me, because I lost my father. And I have you two guys. You two guys been a blessing in my life. And like Coop said, who you're around, who's being that ear for you too. And also, I look up to Coop too, because I tell Coop all the time, yo, all the time I'm in the deal, I'm like, yo, big homie, you put it on. Like, even though I don't talk to him like that, he's representing, and he's a light for me. Because I'm like, oh, Coop made it. Like, it's much respect and kudos, and the way when I practice with Coop, and the way he practiced and like carried himself in that field, bro, I'm like, yo, that's what it takes to be a pro. Like, bro, this dude wasn't messing up no reps, none of them, and that's what it takes.
No, a good day.
Good day.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving him his flowers. Like, that's what it takes to really be a master of your craft and whatever it is that you're doing. Like with Casey, when he's rapping. Those songs they put out, like, bro, they gotta be top tier every time you come out. Boom, 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 boom.
I always tell myself my next song has to be better than my last, and if it's not, then like I obviously did something wrong. It could be anything though. Like, the song might not be like as great like lyrically, but if I market it better, or if I have a crazy visual for it, people are gonna understand it a lot more than like what I did with my last song. So like for me, like, it's like art. Anything you do is like art. So like for me, when I make music, I make sure everything is like a vision the way I want it. Like, Ethan always gave me this advice where like I should do more visuals, and I agree with him now. I've always agreed, but I just never had like the resources, I think, to like utilize it. And I think this year I just wanted to take another a risk, and I was like, all right, I found this director. He's gonna put me on. He's gonna really help me out. And talking about putting on, actually, since Ethan was talking about you, I always calls you big homie. I actually want to talk to you a little bit about your nonprofit organization that you guys have. Talking about putting on, you're actually putting on for the youth, which I think is extremely beautiful, especially with someone like at your league and at your level and at your stature. I think that's something that's extremely important for people to hear. So talk a little bit about that. You made it, you did your thing, you're in the league, right? So now you want to give back to your community. And I think that's something extremely important, because people, I think, sometimes forget where they come from, especially when they make it to that level. And I think it's beautiful that you want to give back to the kids in a way I don't even think schools can sometimes give back to. Because you're going to teach them real life lessons and you're going to teach them to play a sport that they can hopefully love. So talk a little bit about that. I know you worked with Trey on this. Obviously, Trey does DB Movement, but talk about your new brand, this little nonprofit organization. What is it called and what do you guys want to teach this youth so they can replace us one day?
So our nonprofit foundation is Selfmade Elite. So the name came from, like, that's just me. I was on a magazine when I was in high school. It was Selfmade. So that's where the name came from. I'm not too clever. That was iconic. And that was it. So the idea with that, like, I always had that in the back of my mind. If I start something, it's going to be started with Selfmade. At least that's how I could start off things. You know what I'm saying? So where me and Trey connected on is when we was in college. Like, we always spoke about football. We always spoke about what we want to do. Of course, making it to the league. And he could tell you, like, we was always on the same page on what we wanted to do as far as, like, personal life, football. Like, we wanted to make money. We want to be business owners. We want to be dogs at football. Like, that's just what we do. So that's where all that came from. And Trey could tell you, like, we just talked about it, and it was formulating for a couple years.
For a couple years, yeah.
It was like 2-3 years. It was like formulating. We just kept talking about it. And he's like, yo, let's just do it. And I was like, all right.
Fox had to take the risk, man. Like, you know, it was, are we going to keep talking about it, or are we just going to jump out there?
Like this pod.
Exactly, right? So that's all it came down to. I'm going to be honest with you. It was just like, me and Coop built this bond, right? And he could tell you, like, on his visit to Stony Brook, I was his host.
Damn. It's crazy how things come full circle.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
So it was just like, you know, gradually, you know, we built that bond. We became brothers, you know, and just conversations about, like, let's give back to the youth. Like, how can we do that? And then, you know, it's crazy how God works. Like, obviously, I didn't make it to the league, but he did, right? And I'm a financial literacy teacher. Right. And I'm around a bunch of great teachers, family, friends, right? Educators. And it's like, we just put it together. It was like, yo, let's do this. Like, let's give back. Let's teach the youth financial literacy, entrepreneurship, technology. Like, technology is the newest thing coming.
Yeah, you have to.
And then he's on the platform of the NFL. It's like, and the way he thinks is amazing, right? So let's just do this.
Yeah, and it's the best of both worlds, right? Because you're a coach, financial literacy teacher, NFL, and of course, 7-on-7, what the case may be. They're like, that's the best of both worlds right there, man. If I'm going in there, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like, that's going to get me to, that's going to get me to the promised land. You get what I'm saying? Or at least let me get a tinge of it, at least. Because I was reading this book, and it says, if you study 5th grade people and try to, you know, do what they do, and you don't exceed what they have done, you will get a tinge of greatness. So that's why who you're around and what you study, what you read is very crucial. Because if you're around weak shit, then you're gonna get tinges of weak shit where you're gonna be at. So you know, what is entirely though the purpose of this 7-on-7, right? And why should people follow this movement?
Yeah, right.
You want me to take it?
Yeah, do that.
All right.
My dog.
Pretty much, you know, we want people to know, like, we trying to change lives. Like we spoke about earlier, right? If you just capture one person, it's a good thing. So if you just capture one, right? Just like this podcast. And it's like, with Selfmade Elite, we just want people to know, like, we're trying to impact the youth, right? Financial literacy is not really heard of in our schools.
Yeah, and I think it's good that you say that because it's bigger than football is what I'm getting from.
It's football is just the start.
Yeah.
It's how you get your foot in the door.
Exactly. And football taught me many life lessons that you can carry on. But then if you're combining that with the actual, you know, you're teaching them that stuff instead of just, oh, you got to translate it. Now you bring them both together at the same time. Then I was like, oh, I see. And they're just connecting the dots. And you're just being the roadmap for them. And they just got to follow it.
Exactly.
That's it.
You know, we just want to help the youth, right? We live in a time, and I'm going to be completely honest, where our youth is crazy. If we all going to sit here and be honest, our youth is crazy right now.
It's because of social media, man.
Social media is
everything got good and bad, but I believe it's because of social media. A lot of cats getting raised on social media, and that, bro, y'all foundation is fucked up. That's all I gotta say.
The youth, like, you could watch it on news every day. 16, 17-year-olds getting killed or shooting guns. Why? They have nothing to do. So we feel like we coming in like, all right, we're gonna just start this off with a little 7-on-17, right? But on the back end, we thinking about how can we educate, right? Teach our kids financial literacy, entrepreneurship, technology. Let's get them out the streets, right? Give them something to do. Give them some hope. All a lot of kids know is if I'm not playing sports, I'm selling drugs or rapping. That's how it is.
Facts. And they're like, if football don't work out, then it's over.
That's it.
You know, I know a lot of people that was like, all eggs was just on football. And like, you know, Coop could say like, bro, making it to league is really, really hard. And you gotta be that real diamond in the rough. And even when you get there, nothing is guaranteed. Every single day, you know, something can happen. It's just like, all right, boom, later. Like I said, and they'll be like, hey, it's just business, and you can't take it personal. But knowing how we are now, you're gonna take it, and then you're gonna go down the wrong route. You see it all the time, man. It's fucking insane.
I mean, so to piggyback what Trey was talking about, like the foundation, it's like it's more than football. It's also like we're trying to really turn this thing into like multiple sports, multiple avenues. Where like if you could vision a YMCA or Boys and Girls Club, then that's exactly what we're trying to do. Like we're trying to have everything to where we can provide education, after school programs, tutoring, and you got sports. So like to be honest, like after school, if you could, when we get there, big old building and stuff like that, your kid don't have to go nowhere else. He can be right there the whole day.
Get his homework done. Learn something. Work out. Like now, think about all that.
Might have my mind right now, bro.
Think about all of that.
I'll hold you.
Right. Now, how much time do they have? I mean,
that's our vision,
right? How much time do they now have to be in the streets? Right.
And what I love about this too is like, you guys, like I said, giving back is the biggest thing. And what's crazy about this is like all it takes, like you guys said, is that one diamond in the rough to just pop off. And now like you guys created this new cycle that has like an algorithm for success. And which is, I think, is beautiful because now, from now on, after that one diamond in the rough is found, they're going to want to do something just like you guys or just as great to put their community on. And I think in general, with the level that you're on, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't ever give back anymore. And I think that's something that's extremely important. Like as an artist, I always say this all the time to like people, my family all the time. I'm like, you know, if I got really big, like I would definitely give back to like my community and help the kids that like don't have anymore. Because if you guys know, like I'm from Bay Ridge and like part of Sunset Park. I was raised in Sunset, and like if you look at Sunset now, it's like not what it used to be. A lot of kids are like really like doing bad shit, like you said. They're out on the street doing things they shouldn't be doing. And I think if I can give back and help them and give them these resources, what's stopping them from being just like me or even better? And that's what I want. I want people to be better than me. Because if I'm giving you the keys, you have everything right in front of you to be the best you can be. And I think that's something with you guys that is extremely beautiful, because I always say this all the time to Ethan as well, but me being in the military, right? Me being in the Marine Corps, regardless of my situation, regardless of me being on like my combat deployment, something I always tell my Marines is like,
boy, in the Marines, God.
Yeah, look, yeah.
You got to check out this episode.
Yeah, so like, yeah, regardless of who it is, like I tell my Marines now that I have like, yeah, I was in Afghanistan and I had this whole combat deployment. I did my tour and everything, but like everything that I learned from all my experiences, I give to them, and I would never like take out anything that my leadership was really bad. Like I hate this mentality that if it was done this way for such a long time, it has to be done this way now. And I always tell my Marines, like, that's not how it's supposed to be. Like you guys are supposed to just,
yeah, bro.
See, exactly. But like, I don't like that, because I like to make sure there's a change in the people who are going to replace me one day, because they should be able to replace me when I'm gone, so I can trust them.
Right.
And I think that's what you guys are talking about, because this is bigger, like you guys said, than football.
Right.
It's all about overall well-being. And I think that's something amazing that you guys can do. So for the future, where do you guys see yourself in the next couple of years, and where do you guys want to be? Like, what are some future goals for you guys in the next 5 to 10 years with this program?
Like, what could we? Because we see the 7-on-7. What could we see next?
Yeah, what could we see next from you guys?
I mean, me and Trey already talking about,
and what's cooking up? And what's cooking up right now?
Trying to get another team in another like sport, or
we trying to get. Yeah, he wanted to coach softball. Like,
oh shit!
He wanted to coach softball, so that might be the next. That might be the next team as far as like a different sport. But we trying to definitely get a 15U team. Also 7-on-7, 13U team. And then we're trying to expand. Cause I live in Georgia. Trey live up here in New York. So it's like I'm willing to commute. It don't, you know what I'm saying? Like that don't bother me. So
we all make
now
time.
we really can like expand. You know what I'm saying? Then I just got a phone call the other day. Like my man, he see what's going on and he's trying to join the team to expand to Maryland. I'm like, man, we didn't even have our first tournament yet, and people was ready to, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's good though, because that's mean. So when we ready, we know where we can go and how we can do it. We could talk about it. We could form the plan, and just see how it can expand like that.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point. What did we say last episode? What did I say? I went and I ran about time, right? People make time for what's important for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, you got a whole bunch of shit going on. You do, but you make time for it. Like you said, like, oh, I'm in Georgia, but I'm gonna come back, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make time for that. And I always say, you know, we see people wasting time on certain shit. And it's just like, bro, if someone wants to be in your life, they're gonna make time for it, man. If they're serious about it, they're gonna make time for it. You gotta find a way. If you're serious about it, you gotta find a way.
Agreed.
We all got the same 24 hours, 7 days in a week, just like me and my fitness. If I miss 3 days, like if I go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, right? But if I miss Wednesday, I gotta go Thursday, or I gotta go for the weeks up. And I find it beautiful that you guys are doing it in New York City, because in New York City, I feel like with football, we're not really known, and it's not much and it's not
Goes
much
against the grain.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say at all, but
No,
we can have
and
more.
it's going against the grain, because me, like when I was in high school and college, there was no 7-on-7 team that could have went for like this type of exposure, or go under the wings of, you know, a successful D1 athlete, another successful D1 athlete that made it to the league. Not discrediting you, but, you know, two guys that are really a master at their craft. You want to follow people that are master at their craft. And like I said, if you actually could follow their steps and actually replicate what they're doing, you're going to get, well, I said, a tinge of it. And then some of them is really going to be bigger and better. And that's what it's all about, breaking those generational curses and making sure they're the new and improved. Like my father was just telling me, son, you're the new and improved. And when whoever I'm around, I'm trying to make them better than me, because my dad gave me this too. I'm always trying to give back more. And what's the whole point of making it if you're not going to give it back?
Exactly. We definitely said it on my episode.
Yeah.
Said the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? So, Coop, I know, like me, right? You probably didn't know that I looked up to you. I still do, you know, big up, because, you know, you're a living product of, like, I actually know someone that did that and done that in NFL. And I know there's a lot of individuals out there that you may not know to look up to. Like when you make a post on Instagram, like when they see that makes their day. What advice or life-changing advice could you give to them that you want to stick in their heads forever? Like what you told me on Instagram. Remember what you told me on Instagram that day?
Yeah.
That shit stuck with me. What I did, I ran with it.
Yeah, you ran with it.
So
I mean, because it worked for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I could do was give what I think was right. You know what I'm saying? What I felt was right. And you made it happen.
Right.
So that's like any advice I can give the kids is, you know what I'm saying? Like never doubt yourself, man. I'm telling you that self-doubt is crazy. Like it'll put you in a whole different mental to where you don't want to go. And like, don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing. Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing at all. Like that's impossible. Yeah, all right, it's impossible for you. Nah, I'm gonna try it. Like I'm gonna get it done. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna finish it. You know. So and then just keep going. Like just keep going. No matter everybody takes L's. Everybody take L's. I broke my leg. That was the biggest L of my life. You know, it was right before I was supposed to go to college. Well, prep school, I should say. My fault. Like prep school, biggest L of my life. I had to bounce back. I didn't know how my leg was gonna heal. I didn't know how long it would be in the cast. Like I knew how long, but I'm like, man, this shit taking forever. Like when is it really gonna come off? Everybody take L's. So you just gotta get back. You know what I'm saying? Just keep grinding. Don't self-doubt yourself at all. People's opinions don't matter. Like everybody gonna have opinions. And it don't matter.
What type of work does it take to actually be a pro? Because not many people know about the work that you put in behind the scenes and on the scenes.
Shit, like we said in the EP, you gotta be willing to do more than the average.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you really gotta be willing to do more than the average.
And what's that? What's more than the average?
Shoot, well, I could say for me, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, I always was working out, whether it was basketball, football, baseball. I was working out every day of the week. You know what I'm saying? It didn't have to be always weight room. It just, you know what I'm saying? It was always something that made me better. Like if I wasn't playing football, I was always playing basketball. If I wasn't playing basketball, I was playing football. Then if I wasn't doing nothing, I was training in the gym at Mount Vernon High School with Coach Yacht shooting jump shots at 5 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? It was me running stairs at 6 in the morning. It's after we all going out at night, waking up 2 hours later, go run the stairs at 6 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I was just different. Like, and I feel like I'm still different. It's just, like, you just got to be on a different level. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to go run stairs all the time, but that's just what I did. Like, my house was right near the projects right there. Right now, Harley Park just went right in there and just ran the stairs. Well, how many floors is up there, Vince?
Like 20.
It was like,
damn.
Steep.
And I think that relates to
Anybody.
Anybody in any type of field. If you trying to really be beyond the norm or go to that next level where like Jay, like let's say in the rap, Jay, you know what I'm saying, Long Live Nip, or like me with fitness, like Just Train or Kevin Hart's trainer, like you have to do more than the norm. You have to do, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to make a lot of sacrifices for it. Sacrifices constantly and day in and day out. And you got to have that mental endurance too. You got to be patient because it took a long time, right?
Yeah.
And you're still doing it now. Are you still like putting in the work, you know, outside the normal time frame?
Yeah, gotta put in that work always. And don't get me wrong, putting in work is not always physical. Like it really isn't. You could sit down and watch film. Like Trey would tell you, I was in college watching film till I fell asleep.
Studying the game.
Like it would just I would get away from Stony Brook and I would just watch football. Like, I would just watch film. How can I be the next Tyrann Mathieu? How can I be the next Ed Reed? Or you know what I'm saying? I just watched football. That's what I did. So like I said, it's not always about physical. So I would watch film. I would take care of my body. You know what I'm saying? Like I have resources when I wasn't in school, like Peter Clark, people like that to help me work on my body. Like it was the people I kept around. Like I was smart enough to like, all right, I'll go see this dude. He got me right, but this dude worked better. So it's like you gotta be stingy with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can't just let anybody want to just work with you or work out with you.
You can't be accessible to everybody.
Nah, you can't because
Time's
everybody don't know what they doing. So that's how like I seen trainers and never went back to trainers and went to somebody else because they just what they did worked for me.
Exactly. And we got a lot of people that go on IG claim this and that, but when it's time, they ain't that. And I told Casey that with rapping. What I tell you all the time, I said, bro, you gotta study. Like he doing his rap, whatever. I said, bro, you read this book about Jay-Z? Say, all right, read this, study that. You read this book about what the book gave Nip? Say, yo, you read that one? Nah. I'm like, bro, what is he doing? You get what I'm saying?
Free game.
Yeah, free game right there, man.
So I do also have a question for you too, just piggybacking off some advice that he said. Since you did make it to like this level, right? Do you feel like people hold you to a different expectation?
I think that comes with it.
And how does that make you feel? So do you feel like at times, like if you failed, that you failed everyone? Like how does it feel to be at a level where you now feel that everyone holds you to a certain expectation? Like what do you want people to understand about having this expectation? Do you feel like everything you do is like for a cause? Like what is this expectation that you feel like people hold to, and how does it make you feel?
Expectation. I would just say everybody's situation is different. So I would just say more of the pressure is not more like expectation for me. It just because now I have a son, so that's added good pressure.
Congrats.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So that's good pressure, I would say. It just made me get up and grind a little harder.
Nice.
So, but yeah, everybody's situation is different. So,
and in your current state of where, you know, you guys are with 7-on-7 with Trey and just the NFL, what is something that you're still learning on this journey?
You said as far as like the NFL or the
everything that you're doing, like what is like a couple of things that you're still learning? Because I remember when we first started talking, right? You said like you just didn't know much about it. Like what are some things that you're still working on now? So just so people can understand like what you're going through at the moment that you think is going to help you get to like that next level.
Well, on the football side, you can always learn the game because you got to be a sponge in the NFL or anything professional you're doing. Just anything, you got to be a sponge. If you think you know everything, you don't. It's quiet. So you got to just continuously be a sponge. I didn't learn like 6 new defenses in 4 years. It's just like, damn. But it's a learning curve. I know a lot of football. I almost know as much as Trey. Trey know a lot of football.
That's all he does. That's all he does, man.
So on that side, you always got to keep learning. and bettering your craft, so you could just always be ahead of the game. That's how you make plays in the NFL. You gotta know what's coming before it's coming. And
Gem.
as far as like,
that was a good one.
as far as the nonprofit and the foundation side, that's not like running a regular business. I mean, it somewhat is, but not really. Because, you know, like I have a car rental business, and so I'm providing a service for somebody, and they're looking for a service. But whereas like the nonprofit is like you giving back to a community, you're doing something for like somebody else without actually, you know, receiving actual payment. Like,
a reward for it.
You know, like a reward, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it right, but it's like you got to raise funds rather than having a regular business. Like, you're raising funds.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's definitely some good, like, it's definitely some good tax stuff, I could say.
Yeah.
That's a great benefit. Like, I'm just still learning this stuff, but it's a real good experience and real good journey.
Yeah, like you really have to have a good team to run this.
I agree.
I think
It's
that's
like-
what that's what
the main
anything.
thing.
Yeah, like
That's what anything, man.
we can't do this with just us two.
No.
Like,
No.
you know, we got a solid team right now helping us.
Big
Shout out to
solid team.
them.
Yes, sir.
But it's like it takes a lot, you know, and like y'all know me very well. Like as far as like trying to get donations, I'm mad laid back. Like I'm not about begging people and stuff,
Nah,
but
yeah,
it's
of
like
course not.
And that's
you
the thing
gotta-
I'm trying to like.
you gotta
I
step
don't-
out
I don't
your
ask nobody
comfort
for
zone.
nothing.
Like me and him are
Yes.
very laid back. Like we humble
Yes.
guys, but like we now have to step out our comfort zone.
Yeah, we gotta really ask for
Yeah,
money
like-
now.
Yeah, that's
Like
And it's
never-
hard. It does
you know
get a
what I'm
little
saying?
weird.
Aside,
It does
you know,
get a
aside
little
from the
weird.
parents, it's like whoa.
And sometimes
it's
you
not
do
for,
like
it's not for us though. It's for the kids.
Yeah.
So it's like we gotta do that.
right, but then you really get to see who's really rocking with y'all.
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
it all
And-
come full circle. If they say no, it happens because there's gonna be that somebody that's gonna drop a big check, and you everything you want to do,
It's
it's
be there
going to
now.
happen.
Yeah.
And now that's when everybody going want to join the bandwagon. Like, all right, that's cool. We're still accepted, but
Right, but noted.
yeah, it's,
Noted.
it's noted.
but noted. So
And-
I just want to say, like, I want to thank you guys, you know, for coming out and like showing your love, you know, just showing love, showing all your support. And I just want to let you know, like, I know I've never met you before. I know we just had a FaceTime call before this, but like, I am actually extremely humbled to also be here with you. I think it was a pleasure having you on our podcast and having Trey, reoccurring member. Now he's 2 times and the brothers in the deep end over here. But we appreciate you both, I think, for coming. I think it's extremely beautiful what you guys are doing, especially with the platform that you're on, especially what Trey's doing, what you guys are all doing. And I think everyone who's watching can learn from you, from everyone, everything we spoke about today. And I think it's amazing, like I said, on what you guys are doing. I think for anyone who's watching, they're going to really tune into this. And hopefully, you know, out of this, they can help you and support you along this journey to make your dreams, you know, even more true what
It's
they
gonna
already
be
are.
fun, man. It's gonna be fun. Shout out to Taylor and Brittany.
Shout them out.
Squad.
And like I said, you know,
Coaches.
moving forward for you guys as well, like just on my platform, like I just want to let you guys know, like I love what you guys are doing. And hopefully as I progress in my craft as well, I would definitely invest into you guys. I think that's awesome.
Appreciate you.
No, of course. And I think that's something
You're
that,
gonna see where it's going.
no,
Facts.
I
Nah,
can't
brothers in the
wait.
deep end-
Hey,
brothers in the
hey.
deep end gotta make a donation. We
Hey.
gotta collab. We already did a collab.
absolutely.
Once
And-
we get these funds, just know.
Or
the
we could
vision
do,
is crazy.
or like I said before we close out, like me and Casey, you know, we could do like a little seminar there, talk to the kids about certain stuff.
Yeah.
What did I ask you about
Yeah.
2 weeks
Definitely
ago?
do that.
I
Yeah.
asked him. I said, "Yo, E, you like when we get this going, like, would you mind being like a financial person
Pull
in the
up.
building?" And you know, he
Pull up.
Yeah.
he's I don't know if he's ready for it yet.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready, but we could definitely like collab, do like little seminars and stuff and talk to them, man. Like I said, I appreciate both of y'all. Cool, we already know the vibes. Trey already know my brothers, man.
Fact, we
Thanks for
appreciate it.
having me, man.
And thank you guys the most for giving back, because our motto on this podcast is, you know, if we could change one person's life, that's all that matters. And I think you guys are changing more than one life. So
That's the
So
plan.
where before we close up, where could they like follow, support, whatever
Yeah.
the case may be?
Our Instagram is what is it? Selfmade.
Selfmade.
I don't know.
Underscore.
Down.
Hold on.
Selfmade Elite _ 7v7.
Yep.
Okay.
We got the foundation page.
That's our. You'll find our link tree on there, which I have like our donation page, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube page. Our what else we got?
We got the YouTube, the donation. You said the
All our
donation link.
all our events.
Yeah, they
everything.
got a videographer, a camera person.
Oh,
over
yeah,
there,
shout out to
professional.
Shout 'em out right here in the back.
Visuals, my brother
Yeah,
from the
shout out.
mud, always with me, always will be with me. You heard?
Heard that. Heard that. Like that, like my brother Casey, man. And we're just gonna end it just like that. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Continue to support, subscribe, follow us,
comment.
comment, and also, you know, follow them as well. They got their own individual pages. We're gonna put their hyperlinks in under the description. And yeah, man, love is love.
Thank you guys. We appreciate y'all.
Look, moving different, you know I'm already custom made. Said you wanna play with me, there's just a different game. Trying to make it to the end, it's just a crazy maze. Here for the